Survival. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a game in which man and nature contend for supremacy, and it's played to the highest stakes imaginable. The smallest mistake, the slightest of oversights, could easily lead to a swift death and a shallow grave. And that's the reality for most of us, where we find ourselves thrust out into the wilderness and expected to endure. Most will become a quick casualty to make room for the survivors. For that is the way of the wild, and it's the reality for me. Because when you play nature's game, you play for the visiting team.
I am Mark Mortum, and I'm gonna teach you how not to survive.
For this week's adventure, I'm being dropped into the wilds of Central Park, located deep within the very heart of the concrete jungles of NYC. It's the land of the harsh, of the tightly clutched handbag and the wary eye. Take one wrong turn here, and you might find yourself walking in the wrong direction, or stumbling into a smooching couple. The camera crew will leave me behind now, alone. Whether or not I become a casualty is now up to me. However, I haven't been left completely empty-handed. Left behind for me is a small box containing a few meager supplies. That is all I will have to survive with over the course of the following week.
Now, as you can see, I have nothing and no one. But as far as the show goes, I'm not going to be receiving any support. I am completely on my own. So let's see what the camera crew left for me this time. Let's see. Got a book, Wilderness Survival. Helpful. That'll make good kindling for our fire. Let's see, we have a knife. Oh, this is really helpful. This is it's nice and rusty too. You can use this for all kinds of things. You can clean in your teeth, clean in your ears, a lot of stuff. Now, it's important in an environment like this one, like Central Park, that you want to wear an item like this open and exposed. So, I'll tell you, I'm also going to take it out of the sheath, and I'm going to carry it down the front of my pants like this for easy access. And then that way I can use the sheath for something, I don't know. I'll find out something to do with it. Now, water bottle, always good to have in case I come across, I don't know, liquid at some point, some kind. Now I do know that there's fresh water in the area. One of the first things I'm going to try to do is see if I can locate it, so that way I'll know which direction to avoid. It's important in a survival scenario. You want to stay as dehydrated as possible. You know, it's all about staying as uncomfortable as you can. Really keeps you sharp, keeps you on your toes. So, I'm gonna make a little carrying bundle here. Of course, I gotta take the camera.
Even the box itself can be made use of. It's cumbersome and will add to my carry weight.
Now, as I walk, I'm gonna do everything I can to avoid as much shade as possible. It's important to sweat as much as you can. I'll tell you what, when that sun goes down and temperature starts to drop, you're gonna wish it was hot enough to make you sweat. I'm gonna enjoy it while I can.
Luckily, nobody knows that I'm out here. It's important before going out into the wilderness to ensure that nobody knows where you're going or if you're even leaving at all. If you know that somebody knows where you are, it really kills your zen. I'm only an hour or so in when it happens. I stumble and fall directly on the knife. Out here, there's not much I can do except to scrounge up some garbage for an impromptu bandage and wrap it up as best I can, kissing my love life goodbye and hoping for an infection. I don't even bother thinking about setting up a camp until it's already fully dark. Setting up a camp while the sun is still up is a waste of sunlight.
Well, here it is. It's kind of crappy. Probably would have been better if I could have seen what I was doing, but survival it's all about trade-offs. So in this case, I traded more light for less camp.
Seeing as there's no police presence in the area, I don't even bother trying to start a fire. I do everything I can to keep as little as possible between myself and the cold, hard ground. The shivering of my sweat-soaked body will keep me company throughout the night. In a survival scenario, you don't want to sleep. To sleep is to be vulnerable.
Well, it was a long, cold night. I think my gambit worked. I don't think I slept at all. I think my goal is kind of push towards the edges of the park. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can even scrounge up some grub.
I need to find food. I haven't eaten in a while now. I didn't eat for 2 full days before setting out. Not out of choice, I just forgot to.
Gotta come back for the camera. This might be a good area to find food. I don't see much around. Nope, I don't see much, but if I get desperate enough, I could make use of the knife. Eat a few of my fingers. It's just sort of a dangerous road to go down. It's your body, it's a limited resource. You only have so much of it. Once you start snacking on yourself, sort of a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of situation. I'm gonna hold out, maybe see if I can come across something. We'll take a look. It's some pretty amateur work, I gotta say. It's way too big for one thing. Unless you're building a shelter for a giant or trying to cozy up to a bear. Probably not the best choice. So that is a very long fall up ahead, and you want to be really careful because when you're out here alone, a fall like this could easily maim or even kill you. Allow me to demonstrate. I appear to have broken both of my ankles. That's gonna impede things a bit.
A pair of broken ankles is going to seriously impede my progress. My travel pace has been reduced to what is essentially a crawl. Fortunately, my sliced open penis feels much better by comparison. After what feels like an hour, I finally arrive at the park's edge. My odds have gone up. Doubtlessly, some kind passerby will notice me and take pity. Now that I've arrived at the park's edge, I'll doubtlessly be noticed by some kind passerby who will take pity. Now that I've arrived at the park's edge, I'll doubtlessly be noticed by some kind passerby, and they'll take pity. Some kind passerby will notice me and take pity. Now that I've arrived at the park's edge. Eventually, I'm found by the camera crew. I managed to make it out alive, but it was a close contest. The wilds of Central Park tested my resolve in ways I wasn't ready for, pushing me to the max, pushing me in ways I wasn't prepared for, just as they do thousands of countless tourists each and every year. So think about that next time you find yourself surrounded by an empty park and a big apple and a bunch of strangers to keep you company. Will you survive? Or will you become just another Casualty.